What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sports Lounge 757. I'm your host, T. What an interesting week we've had last week, whether it was politics, but right now this is about sports, and this is about our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Right now, I have a guest up here. He's one of our main contributors to this channel. He is a Steelers fan. He's been a diehard Steelers fan for quite a while. I would say even
Whole
before I started becoming a Steelers fan. I was one in 1985, and I've never turned back around ever since. But we want to thank you. And guys, y'all, please hit the like, comment, subscribe to this channel. This channel is just getting started. I've gained a little bit of subscribers to now go live on YouTube on this platform, which is dope. And so right now we are live right now as we speak. But before we get going, guys, and before I introduce you guys to the audience, what has the Steelers? How the Steelers offense become stagnant? You know, can Aaron Rodgers just get back to the fountain of youth before because we have 6 more games? Can he actually do that? Can he pull that off? And can the Steelers bounce back in Week 11 against the Cincinnati Bengals? And do y'all think we're true contenders in the AFC North? But before we get started, what's going on, Tony? Can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah, hi there. My name is Tony Porter. I am owner of Porterhouse LLC. I am bit like James said. I've been a diehard Steelers fan my whole life since I'll probably say the '70s. So I'm aging myself. But yeah, man, I love the Steelers. I'm not loving them today, but you know, I'm ride or die with the Steelers though. So we're gonna get deep into this conversation about what the Steelers are doing, where we think they can go, and let's get it cracking.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get it cracking. And again, if I haven't said anything, guys, about this channel, it means a whole lot. We're trying to grow this community and we can grow together. And also join Peak Sports. Peak Sports, we have deep dives inside the all 22 sports film where you have a deep dive in every player's analytics. I'll be sharing that with you, and also my YouTube shorts and my TikTok shorts that are on TikTok itself. So that's a members only that we're going to get together for you. But right now, we need to dive into this. So, as of last night, a lot of people are concerned about our offense. A lot of people are concerned about the state of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Has the offense become stagnant, or do you think that teams have figured a way out of beating the Steelers as far as the defense against a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers? And so I'm asking that question. Do you think because of what just happened, how uh, it seemed to me that our tight ends that were normally involved in the 12 package personnel, they seem to disappear after the second half. There was a lot of parts on the offense that I thought could have been better. I thought that Aaron Rodgers looked a little stale. He looked a little like the likes were too big. I'm starting to see a trend on Sunday Night Football, and it's a concern to me. Not only because he's 41 years old. If you can look at the stats, do you have the stats up, Tony? On
Man, so I'm having some technical issues on my end finding the stats.
Okay.
Yeah, I meant to mention that to you before we went
Oh,
live, but what? But you could bear with me. I'll find them while we're talking. But yeah. So I mean, it wasn't a whole lot to speak of yesterday as far as stats, but I mean, we know that they had some numbers. So I'll find that as we conversate, get into the details. So
yeah, and it's cool, guys. And again, thank y'all for joining us at the live stream here on YouTube at Sports Lounge 757. We will try to be more consistent as the seasons progress. Um, but I have a quick story as Tony is trying to find the stats. I went to my local barbershop on Saturday, and a lot of those guys, they're football guys, and you have Raven fans, we have Bengal fans up in there getting their haircuts and barbers and stuff like that too. And as I'm walking in there, they're talking and they're raving about Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I should have known right then that I should have known right then that hey, something was going to happen Sunday night where we got exposed. I mean, they were just talking mad stuff like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is in his bag. Steelers are going, they're gonna win the AFC North and da 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 da. Like the team itself looks solid and all that. And so my spidey senses, Tony, was just tingling. Like this is too good to be true. You've been a Steelers fan a long time, and when things go way up and it seems to be better. Things seems like we get a dose of reality, and we can't be too high and we can't be too low as Steelers fans. Um,
Yeah,
I thought that was something that I was concerned about going into Sunday. But what you got,
yeah,
Tony?
I did get the stats. So if we just to get started, total yards wise, we only got 221 yards total.
Mhm.
We had 148 passing yards, 73 rushing yards.
Jesus.
We had 11 first downs versus our competitor, the Chargers, who had 18 first downs. Um, they had 314 yards total yards. So you see the discrepancy there.
Yes.
Um, and ultimately, everybody who watched the game knows the score was Pittsburgh 10, Chargers 25. But the game did not look like that. It
The
looked a lot.
game.
No, it was a lot more dominated than that. But the score didn't really reflect that. Any particular stat you looking for? Because it's a lot of stats. I mean, Aaron
Well,
Rodgers
ye-
16 out of 31, which is horrible.
come on, man. That is that
Yeah,
is that is. I would say out of his season, even with the Jets, this was his worst performance from
yeah,
last year.
yeah,
I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I would say watching him, and I didn't watch the Jets season all last year, but
right.
the games that I did see, these numbers weren't in his favor at all.
Yeah.
No, by
Was
far.
I don't know why I'm having a feeling it's like, and see, this is a thing though, and I can't blame it all on Rodgers because some play calling has a lot to do with it as well. I mean, like I don't know. You tell me if I'm looking at this wrong. So I noticed that when Washington plays, he's they get yards. Why did he
Yes,
didn't play
yes.
yesterday? I didn't see him yesterday. Was he injured?
Well, no, we saw Darnell Washington. Shout out to the Georgia Bulldog, Darnell Washington. You are a dog, and hopefully you have a bright future ahead of you as a tight end. I think you're an amazing player. I think you're a team player. You can line up and play him as tackle. I mean, this guy
He's a
can
big
block.
man. He's a
He's a
big
he's a
man.
big, physical, nasty guy out there on the perimeter. So shout out to him. But I think what happened was Darnell Washington got taken out the game because he had a nice reception. I think
Yeah, it said
uh,
15 yard. I
15
missed
yards,
that.
and I mean that was a dart from Aaron Rodgers that he miraculously caught that ball.
Yeah.
And then after that, they decided to take him out the game. But it was more on he was utilized, but you remember we had a pectoral injury with Isaac Seumalo. So
Hmm.
Isaac Seumalo was out of the game, and so that meant that Broderick had to take more snaps as far as blocking. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
his role,
Oh,
his
so that's
role,
what Washington was doing more blocking. Okay.
yeah. So his role as tight end kind of diminished because of the injury with
Okay. Well, that
Isaac
makes sense. Then
Seumalo.
yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, but yeah, so that's what happened, and then just things after that just started just to diminish. I mean, it was just so many injuries. Just so not it's just so I wouldn't say injuries, but that took a part into what happened with the Steelers. But there's no excuse. The ball. Aaron Rodgers was not accurate. I don't know what was going on with him. Maybe his sciatica nerve started bothering him or something like that. At the age of 41 years old, stuff like that, you got to take in consideration.
Body start falling apart,
Uh,
and especially you're getting hit.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, but the two interceptions. Now, one of the interceptions I know was his fault. I mean, I
Oh
like
man.
so I mean, and I cringed. It's like I mean, they say he, according to the commentators, he takes care of the ball throughout his career.
Yes.
So I mean, it didn't look like he was getting pressured that bad. I mean, maybe it was just a particular play, but
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the Lions seem to be doing okay. Because I don't recall. I'm trying to see if he how many sacks did he get any sacks? Um,
Aaron Rodgers got sacked a few times. Troy Fontanu gave up a sack. Broderick Jones gave up a sack as well. Um, it was just a nasty game from Aaron Rodgers. But let's
yeah.
go to Mike Tomlin after the game, and let's see what Mike Tomlin had to say about his
Okay.
team and how Aaron Rodgers performed.
To the LA Chargers, specifically Jesse Minter. I thought their collective did the job. Shoot, it's probably midway of the fourth quarter before we converted a third down. And you're not going to win football games not converting third down and losing the turnover battle. And we certainly were loose with the ball in several instances and didn't convert enough third downs. And so that's the end result. There's nothing mystical about it. We'll be back. We'll be better. We have to be, but we certainly weren't tonight. Slay was out. He's in the concussion protocol. We'll see where that leads us this week. The rest is bumps and bruises associated with play. Joey Porter Jr. went back in the game. Questions?
With McConkey being so effective, did you think about moving Jalen back into the slot at all?
McConkey caught 4 passes. Certainly that last one was the biggest one, but that wasn't the reason we lost this football game.
Any reason to explain why Aaron was off today?
I'm sorry?
Any reason you can explain why Aaron was off today?
We as an offensive collective were off today, and certainly he's a component of that. I'll let him speak for himself, but we certainly got to be better. Didn't feel like they did anything unanticipated, but certainly they outperformed us, particularly in possession down play.
What are you working on from a consistency standpoint offensively that you'd like to see improve?
Third down.
How concerning is it to have this offensive performance when things have been clicking off this point?
It's football. It's life. We'll be back.
What gives you the confidence that you'll be back?
53 years of life, and particularly in this business.
Does Aaron's level of experience give you the same sort of confidence in him personally being able to rebound?
I'm not lacking confidence. I don't need a pat on the back. We stunk it up tonight. We'll be back.
Just one of the
Yeah, he was right about that. The third, I was just looking at the stats. So 2 of 11 on third down.
2 of 11 on third down.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Tony? Okay, so you have a Darnell Washington,
Yeah.
which we know his primary assignment was the block. He's one of the more blocking tight ends, right? To take
Right.
place of Troy Isaac Seumalo. You also have Pat Fryermuth, right?
Mhm.
He's not
Right.
more, but he's not a blocking tight end. He's
Right.
more of a gadget guy, right? He can get out and stretch the field a little bit. And
Yeah.
then you also have the guy from Miami that we got in the trade with Jalen Ramsey.
Hold on. That's who was that? That was
What's his name?
I'm trying to.
Um,
Yeah, I can't think of his name. I'm looking at.
Hold on. What's his name, dude?
Was it Jay? Not. No. That was.
No, I just had a brain fart. But this is happening when you live.
Yeah. Yeah, but while we thinking about that,
But the guy from Miami, and it's kind of sad because we can't remember his name because for somehow Arthur Smith has failed to get him involved in this offense.
Right.
And with that many skilled tight ends, you would think that we can convert on third downs.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
know,
now I will say this because I'm sitting up here looking at receiving yards and he spreads the ball around a lot, which I do like that. If I'm going to say anything positive, I do like the fact that Rodgers will spread the ball around because I'm looking right here. Metcalf had 3 receptions, Roman Wilson had 2, Pat Fryermuth had 2, Jalen Warren had 2, Darnell Washington 1, Calvin Austin 2, Kenneth Gainwell, which I mean 2 of them are backs, but
Right.
But the point is that he's spreading the ball around. He's not just throwing it to one guy.
That's true. But he also missed Jonnu Smith. That's the
Yeah,
tight
John,
end from
that's the
Miami.
last guy. 1 for 4. He was 1 for 4.
Right.
1 for 4 yards. So
Right.
it's he's spreading the ball around, which I think is good. I just feel like it's like in critical plays, it's like they can't convert, and that's the problem. Like, I mean, especially when the coach said, I mean, third downs, man. Come on, man. You cannot win games not convert no third down, man.
You can't. You
Just
can't.
can't. I mean,
You can't.
I mean, it wasn't like the Chargers did much better. They was 6 for 17, but at least they converted.
Right.
You
And
know,
that's true. And they did. And at the end of the day, but something needs to happen. We're pushing the middle of the season, and
yeah.
this is the time where your offense needs to find a groove. We were a little high on the Steelers after beating the Colts last
which
week.
was a great win. I mean, you can't take that away from them because I think they turned around and won right after that. So it wasn't like
Right.
So I mean, it was a good win, but I feel like, and this is the problem I've always had with the Steelers, and I always feel like they're not consistent. They're very inconsistent in wins and losses. It's like, I mean, they'll go I would love to see them win 4 games or 5 games in a row. I mean, now, let me tell you, because last year I believe they did win like 4 games in a row, and then they lost, or was it? Yeah, I think because they took.
They did. Well, they won 4 games back to back with a few with Justin Fields, and then the game with Russ playing in Cincinnati, and they put up 30-some points in Cincinnati. Yeah. So, but then like towards the end of the season, that's when they kind of like took a nosedive and lost in the playoffs.
And I know it's too late to complain, but I was whining and crying because of the fact that they took Justin Fields out. I felt like they should have let him play that season out. I mean, I know why they didn't. I understand why they didn't, but I felt like they should have, because the outcome, to me, the outcome still would have been the same if you know what I'm saying. I feel like the outcome that we had last year would have been the same whether he played or not played, but they should have let him play it through.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Do you think mobility will be an issue going towards the end of the season when it comes down to Aaron Rodgers?
I would say that. See, I always feel like that's not always the case if your offensive line is protecting them, because I mean, I always go back to some of the greats who they sat in the pocket and won games the whole time. So I feel like that if the line is protecting him good enough for him to have time to for people to run their routes and stuff like that, then it shouldn't be a problem. But I don't know if our line is good enough to protect him, because I saw it collapse quite a few times yesterday, and Rodgers really he his mobility is a question, because when he did get out of the pocket, it was like they were on him.
Right.
They were on him.
Yeah.
So I mean, what? But the thing is, again, most of the time, if you have because I really consider him more of a pocket passer because of the fact of his age, not because historically he was. It's just like because of his age. It's only so much you can do against a 21-year-old.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, at the end of the day, his cadence and his brilliant mind has got him to where he is now at 41, and let's not take away from him. I mean, he's an MVP player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
He's just
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
All that.
Yeah, he's going to definitely get that gold jacket.
Right, it's what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, and speaking of such, right now, what have you done for me lately? Let's go to Aaron Rodgers in his press conference after the loss against the Chargers.
A lot of stuff wasn't working. We were bad on third down. I was just a little bit off. I missed DK early. Could have been a big play. A little high to Jonnu. But yeah, we didn't run the ball super effectively in the first half. I missed obviously some throws for sure, and then we weren't getting guys open and just put it all together. Times that guys were open, I missed some throws I usually make.
And we've seen those throws. Was it something that they were doing to affect you, or was it something that you felt like you were just off tonight?
I just missed a couple throws.
Third down efficiency was a problem tonight. What were they doing to make it so difficult?
Plastering our guys.
What would you say was the root of your struggles tonight?
We didn't run the ball as well as we usually do, and then we didn't get open, and I didn't play as well as I usually do.
And you started running the ball in the second half, and did you change something or anything?
No, we changed a couple of runs, but no, we just, Jalen made some really nice plays. He's a talented guy. We got to get him more touches.
What you saying?
Can Aaron Rodgers get back to the fountain of youth, Tony? Can we get the Aaron Rodgers of 2017? Can we get that Aaron Rodgers? Is it possible to have him repeat as he beat this Pittsburgh Steelers, which I wasn't a fan of that game, but that's what we're looking for. This is an all-in season, Tony. What do you think?
I don't think that I think you've seen the best of him this year as far as what he can do, and if he consistently just like I think yesterday was probably just a bad game for him. I do think that from most of the games he's played this year, I was okay with his play. I thought he definitely can play. He's definitely still can play in this league. I do think that his protection has to be a little bit better. I do believe that he's got to get it to Metcalf, man. I know they say he's getting double teamed and they're bumping him, but he got to find a way to get to him.
Do you think that's on the offensive coordinator not scheming up a play to have DK use more on the wide receiver?
I mean, I do believe that plays a part in it, because it's like the guy is a weapon, man. You got to use him. You got to figure out a way to use him. And I don't know enough about football as far as setting and calling plays, but I do know that if you got a guy with his physical ability and his speed, that you got to figure out a way to get the ball to him. I know that much.
Right.
And I think maybe they have to mix it up a little bit as far as disguising the plays a little bit better, maybe to give him opportunities. They may have to do some little trickery in there, because sometimes I noticed that some teams sometimes you got to add a little razzle dazzle in the plays to get the defense off kilter, because sometimes if they see because I'm sure they watch film and they see you doing certain plays. Often that watching that film, they know what you're going to do, and so you got
predictable.
Yeah, that's what I really was trying to say. They're being predictable, and that's got to change.
I agree with you 100%. That needs to change now. It seems to me, and it's funny you said that, because when I watch the offense line up, it's like it's starting to give me the Matt Canada's vibe. And we've dealt with Matt Canada's offense for a while. It's quite like collegiate type of offense.
Yeah.
There's no motion, there's no pre-snap movement or anything like that. It's just line up. It's just line up and then go for it.
Right.
It's like a bowling pin. But speaking of such, I think what can help Aaron Rodgers get back to the fountain of youth is this guy right here. And I don't mean no harm. Every time this guy touches the rock, nothing but positive things happen, Tony. And so here we go, y'all.
3 first downs. Jalen Warren trying to get it started. Oh, what a leap by Warren to the 23-yard line. Oh, baby, what a play. Woo.
Watch.
Yeah, that was a good play.
Got to get him involved.
You got to. The running game is, I'm telling you, man, if you got a running game, you can win. It's that simple. It's like, because that 2 dimensions, you got to have it. You got to have the passer and the running game. But that running game opens up to me. And I think every who loves football knows that if your running game is on what do you say is online, then passing is just a matter of just you know getting it done. So
I agree 100%. Jalen Warren, every time he touches the rock, nothing but positivity comes from that guy.
yeah.
He catches the ball well in the backfield. I mean, you can line him up as a receiver. He kind of puts me in the mind of Le'Veon Bell, not this body type, but
Hmm.
just his style of play.
Yeah.
Le'Veon had good hands and he was elusive. But at the end of the day, something needs to be established, especially when we go into the winter time and weather's starting to change and the AFC North looks like it's stacking up to be a barn burner when it comes between two teams.
Yeah, because
Um,
Baltimore is playing better, and what they won three in a row, I think they said. So
yeah,
they're playing better. So that definitely makes me think we better we can't be losing too many more games.
we can't. I don't see it possible. But I can. Well, let me bring that
I
back.
need to look at their schedule and see who
Okay,
who.
yeah. Check the schedule out. Check the
Yeah, let me
schedule out.
see. I want to see. Uh,
Because
what
I
this?
think Baltimore's schedule gets a little lighter compared to ours. Because I know we're playing Cincinnati next week, and then we have Buffalo right after that. Then we got Detroit, which is that's your second team.
That's my. Hey, you know it.
That right there is gonna
All
that
right.
game right there is gonna be
Okay.
interesting.
So we have the Bengals next. Then we have the Bears. Then we have the Bills. Then we have Ravens, Dolphins, Lions.
Okay.
So let's see. Oh, then we got the Browns, and then the last regular season game is the Ravens.
Against the Ravens, Baltimore.
Yep. So I mean, our schedule. Let me see, because right now, if I'm looking at our schedule, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got a tough schedule.
Right.
We got a
Right.
tough schedule because only
And
team. Yeah, we got at least 5 teams that can literally beat us if we play especially like we played yesterday.
and one thing that NFL, this league, and every Sunday is different. Any given Sunday is
Yeah,
literally something
Tuesday.
that, yeah, it's a cliche, but it's real.
Yeah.
When you mentioned Miami in that schedule, I mean, you think about it. Who thought that Miami was going to beat Buffalo the way that they did?
Oh yeah, they beat the brakes off
They
of
spanked
them.
they spanked them belt ass, right?
You know,
And
but
so
Buffalo's been shaky. They not looking like the last 2-3 years. Buffalo, they looking a little shaky this year.
yeah, so I don't, I'm just kind of concerned about that. Can Aaron Rodgers tap back into the fountain of youth? But I would say that to help him utilize the run game, and we can concur on that, right? Get the
Yeah,
run game. That way we can keep him off of trying to make reads and establish the run first, and we can get that defense, the actually linebackers to kind of pull back. Then Aaron Rodgers can, figure out, okay, maybe this is a play action pass, whatever. But I think what you said, and I agree with you 200%, the run game needs to be established. And let's
right.
start with getting Jalen Warren involved.
Yeah. And I was looking at the schedule again, and the Bears they lighten it up too.
But you
But
see how they're using Caleb
I
Williams?
try to
They
tell you,
landed
cousin.
Caleb Williams as a wide receiver.
I try to tell your cousin they are playing. They ain't playing this year.
Caleb Williams, they had him out there as a receiver.
Uh-huh.
Caleb got a reception. He got a touchdown. He caught the
Oh,
builders.
serious.
Yeah, I'm not liking it.
It's some serious stuff going on.
Yeah.
This like you said, this season. Now I will say, nobody is unbeatable this year. Like,
That's true.
it was like one year it was Buffalo or Kansas City or whoever they just was playing so well. But even Kansas City, man, they got the same record. Well, they had the same record as the
They had
Steelers.
this,
Now, I don't.
right.
Did they play tonight? Who played tonight?
I want to say it's the, let's see,
Philly,
I think
right?
it's the
Philly and
I think it's
somebody.
it's the Eagles and the Packers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I tell you what, people's parlays. If you're into sports betting, y'all, man, you need to tread lightly for real. Because
See.
who who would ever thought that the Miami Dolphins would blow out
Oh, I bet somebody made some money and
the
somebody
Bills,
lost
bro?
a lot.
And then
The
people
one
made
person
money.
I said, the people who don't know nothing about sports who say, "Oh, I'm picking the Dolphins."
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And they made money. And guess what? People made money last week when the Steelers beat the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah, I'm not much of a sports better, but I definitely in my mind I plan the odds in my head and
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's whew, crazy. But
Yeah,
you
man.
know,
Yeah.
but based on our discussion today, I just I know we have it in us. We have we show those signs of greatness, one game or another. So I know that we got it.
It's
We can
like
do it.
what the young people say, 6'7". Like we need to
Yeah,
we need to merge them together, right? Because I agree with you, Tony, 100%. If the offense can give at least 24 points, not even that, if we can score at least 20 some points, because we've done that this season. We've been there this season to where we scoring 20 some points, 30 some points, and we can
Mhm,
get around that as an offense. And the defense continues to play. Oh, and shout out to Jalen Ramsey too.
mhm,
It was great for him to move over to safety. Um, so if our defense continues to play like how they've been playing, even last night, even though we did lose, and how we played against the Colts,
mhm.
wasn't a lot of takeaways last night, but they still played very well. The Steelers can contend with anybody. They can contend with anybody.
I'll be honest. I am not worried about our defense. It's the offense. That's
And
who
that
I'm.
and that's
That's
the
who I'm worried
crazy
about.
part. And that's the crazy part is out of here we are, and this is week 10, and the last few games besides last night, now we're concerned about the offense when the
Hmm.
offense has been doing pretty great. I
Hmm.
mean, they started the season off with scoring points. This
Yeah.
isn't the Matt Canada's offense.
Right.
With Matt Canada, guess what? Our MVP was Chris Boswell.
Hmm.
And it's not that now this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what are we talking about? Like our offense is way better than it was last year. It's just that last night they relapse. I
Yeah.
mean, Calvin Austin dropping balls. I mean, some stuff was like
Yeah.
on Aaron Rodgers though, but it seemed like they weren't focused. They weren't locked in. I don't know whether it was jet lag or something. I have no clue of what
Yeah.
happened, but
Maybe,
that
and you
wasn't the
know what?
Steelers.
That's a good point because maybe sometimes, and I do believe this. I do believe sometimes you just have a bad game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I watched a lot of good teams lose, and you looking at their resume and you going, they just had to have had a bad game. Now, the only thing I would say as far as the Steelers go, either they play with their competition instead of like having this dominating mentality. They just play to the level of the competition a lot of times,
True.
or they go out there and make a mess of the place like they did yesterday. So it's like I
They
want to see y'all dominate people like your defense did. Like when
listen, Tony. I'm gonna tell you this, Tony, and we've been Steelers fans. We've been Steelers fans for quite a while, but
Mhm,
we've been fans long enough. Audience, for the ones that are out here watching this live, we've been fans long enough to know like pre-game celebrations or pre-game rituals. You know when the Steelers are gonna have a bad game.
mhm.
I knew we were gonna lose last night when I saw Snoop Dogg on the field.
I know. Don't say
When I
that.
saw Snoop dapping up Aaron Rodgers, and then you had Reggie Miller from the
Yeah,
Indiana Pacers out there on the field
yeah.
dapping up Aaron Rodgers, I'm saying to myself, "Oh, we about to take an L tonight. And we
Why?
about to."
What?
It's just,
I need to
bruh.
know how that related. How did
So
that?
it don't. It seems to me with this franchise when there's too much hype, that's when
Okay.
you're
Oh,
kind of let down,
lose
right?
focus maybe.
And you lose focus, and you have the
Yeah.
celebrities in the house. I mean, you don't
Yeah,
understand,
they
like
showed a lot of celebrities in the house.
they did, and you had all the Steelers fans there. Of course, we always take over SoFi Stadium. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just that it was one of those things where as a player, it's a home game, and you show up and you thinking, okay, it's a home game, so you can kind of like relax a little bit. But no, like you got to understand that this team is gunning for you. When you're the Steelers, like you're a well-known franchise, and
Mhm.
understand that every time a team steps out there, they want to take your head off because it's hard to do what we've done over in 18 seasons. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to duplicate that.
Yeah, and that's another thing and that's the reason why like I'm not gonna, even though like, as any fan, uh I'm not gonna say that, that this season is done, and because they still lead the division right now. So
And
we
that's
gotta keep that
crazy.
in mind.
That is wild.
Yeah, but you know what? But that just tells you how I don't want to say how bad, but how the
No,
it's pretty much saying that the division is not super great.
it
Uh,
isn't. It isn't.
it's no real leaders like, far as team wise that's dominating that division. So I mean, but I'm glad that we are number one, because I would hate to be in Cleveland's position. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that we are where we are. So we do have time to make a mistake here and there and still come out, make the playoffs. But I don't want us to end up in a wild card situation. That's what I'm,
Right.
um, kind of worried about again. Uh,
Right. Right.
I don't want that for us, because I feel like that if this is how I feel like if Aaron Rodgers can have a few consecutive good games where he really executes well, I feel like we got a chance to get out of first round. But it's because I feel like we're gonna make the playoffs. I just don't feel like we're gonna do well if we keep playing the way we playing. We just because we as soon as we get in there, we're gonna lose the
Yeah.
first playoff
Right.
game. So
Yeah, I agree with you.
and I hate that though. I hate that. It's like I almost feel like I don't even want to be us to be in the playoffs if we're gonna lose the first game. It's like
You know,
it's great for the for the team, but it's not for the fans. It's like it reminds me of a couple of other teams I know that they get in the playoffs and then they get sent home. So
yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, a lot of Steeler fans are on edge. They're tired of just being mediocre and having to win the season, and that cliche is something that's dried old over there at South Waterside Drive, South Water Street in Pittsburgh.
yeah,
I don't think doing that, and the standard is the standard, is going to be the standard anymore this year if we allow Baltimore to come back and win this division. Because
yeah,
that's what it's shaping up to be like. And can you imagine the noise that they will hear and the Roonies will hear if the Ravens turn around from 1-5 and
hmm
come out and win this division?
yeah. It's not gonna look good for us. I tell you
It's
that. See, and this is, I mean, and I understand the Steelers is a culture of a no nonsense culture, and I appreciate that about them. But I sometimes I feel like and maybe I'm wrong when I'm saying this, but it's kind of like just what I'm thinking is, do we ever have all the pieces? Like, and I'm talking about lately. I'm not talking about historically. Lately, have we like when we went out here and recruited and looking for the missing pieces to our defense, to our offense? Are we actually going out there to win? Or are we just going out there just we want to build greatness? Like,
right.
because
Right.
sometimes, like, and pretty much everybody that a lot of people that come to Pittsburgh, they become great because of the organization is great, and if you do your job, then you're gonna shine in Pittsburgh. But I'm wondering if we need to like start really looking for, like, especially at the quarterback position, are we looking for the future? Like, we might have to take some. Maybe we may not be 500, have a 500 season, but we need to go out here and get us a future quarterback. because Rodgers only can play 1 or 2 years, and
Yeah,
that'll be it.
yeah, I
And,
agree with you.
and the
I
guy,
agree
I
with
mean,
you.
who's the backup? I forgot his name.
Mason Rudolph, and that's
Mason
my
Rudolph.
guy. I like Mason.
Yeah.
Mason
So
is
I
a
mean,
dog, man.
maybe from their experience they feel like, okay, he's good. So if Aaron Rodgers go down, then we can just kind of keep going where we in the same trajectory we're going.
Right.
Um, but I'm thinking about how New England's quarterback May, how he just like came out. I mean, like look at they like what 7-2 now.
I think they're 8-2.
Oh, 8-2.
Yeah.
Nobody expected that.
No.
I
And
mean,
and and shout out to New England. Is it coaching? I think a part of it has to do with coaching. Drake May is an awesome quarterback.
yeah,
Vrabel is a good coach. Um,
yeah,
they've turned that around.
yeah.
But it does start with that. But
I
I
mean, I
don't.
think we got a great coach. We got a great coach. He's a
Yeah,
smart
I
man. He's
agree.
been doing it for a long time.
I agree.
Uh, I mean, sometimes and that's why I'm not trying to dig too deep into it yet because we still on the top of our division now I will say this: if we start sliding down to like number 2 or God forbid number 3, then it's really going to be some other conversations that need to be had. you know
Right.
because
Yeah, and I think
that's not acceptable.
yeah, that volume is going to turn up real loud, and the
Yeah,
Rooney's and for Mike Tomlin to be fired, and people
yeah,
fail to realize Mike Tomlin, his contract is up for. He has a contract extended for another 3 years. So
yeah.
Tomlin isn't going anywhere. You preach it
No,
to the choir.
right.
If the firings would come internal, you're talking about offensive coordinators,
Yeah,
personnel that nation, but not the head coach. If you go
no.
around the league and you talk about Mike Tomlin and other players talks about him and can advocate for him. Everybody loves Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, he
He
would
is he
never.
is a
Yeah, I'm with the Roonies. He don't need to go nowhere. But I do feel
mm,
like what has to happen is uh because I'm looking at the players. I, that's why I'm so confused is because I feel like we have it, and I guess I'm more speaking on the offense. I feel like we have a decent offense. I just feel like the execution is just not right.
there it
It's not
is.
good.
That's it. It's all about execution. They just didn't seem to be focused, but a lot of it too was Aaron Rodgers. I think it starts off with your quarterback, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, there was a play in the first quarter where DK Metcalf was wide open. Aaron Rodgers overthrew him like 10 yards.
yeah. He and
That
he,
would
but and I will say he did man up and say it was on him. You
right,
know, but I did keep hearing him saying the running game wasn't good. That clip you played, he was talking about the running game, but you know, to me, it's not just about the running game; it's the passing game too. Because if you threw 2 interceptions, you overthrew a couple of players. I mean,
right,
that's the big difference right there. Because I mean, we didn't have to score that many points.
right.
A couple of touchdowns, it would have been a close game, or
Yeah, it was close.
yeah,
It was close towards the end of the third. And
yeah,
then we had a special teams play where I forgot his name, Williams, he muffed the daggone punt return.
mm,
And there you go. The Chargers, they capitalized on it, and I
yeah,
think on our 20-yard line, and then
yeah,
boom, that's a short field, and then there you go, touchdown. So
yeah. The
um,
interception that did the same thing.
right.
They
But
capitalized on that.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. As you can see, guys, y'all please like, subscribe, and comment to this channel. Everything that we talk about here at the Sports Lounge 757, and we just want your input. But yeah, we're talking about our Pittsburgh Steelers. We're talking about week 11. Week 11 is right around the corner, y'all. Season is flying by so fast. We
Yeah,
have a rematch going on, y'all. We have a rematch against the Cincinnati Bengals.
right.
Cincinnati. As you guys know, when we played there on Sunday night game, I don't want to see another Sunday night game ever again. But Joe Flacco figured out a way how to torch the Steelers, and that's and hindsight, Mike Tomlin was a little upset about the Browns trading for Joe Flacco, and so, but now we see the reason why Mike Tomlin was concerned. Heading into Week 11, do you see the Bengals being a threat to our defense?
I don't. I feel like we should be able to drag them. To be honest, I mean, they have, of course, a decent team. Well, I mean, you in the NFL, you decent. You just
Right.
It's all about coaching and execution.
Execution. That's true.
But I don't see why we shouldn't beat the Bengals. I mean, to be honest, that's not a
Bengals.
team I'm worried about. I'm worried about teams that's winning like 3 and 4 in a row, 2, 3, and 4 games in a row. Those are the teams I'm worried about because our lack of consistency makes me worry about teams like that.
Right.
But teams that are kind of doing what we doing, I feel like we can beat them.
Right. Yeah. You
So,
you want to see a strong performance from the first half to the second half, and how
or at least,
how you finish.
yeah, it's to me really it's more about the finish than it is the start. It's like because sometimes if like you start a game, you might be a little rusty, you might need to readjust here and there for the second half. But I feel like but if the people are who actually make the call on what plays to execute, if they analyze and seeing where we really falling short in the first half, we should be able to, because they practice all the time, so they can adjust. They can make the adjustments to counteract what the defense may be doing or whatever. So um, I feel like a team like Cincinnati, I feel like we definitely can beat them without, I'm not worried about us beating them, to be honest.
I'm not concerned about their defense whatsoever as well, Tony. As you can see what Chicago did, like their
Yeah,
defense, I mean, they allowed 40 some points,
yeah,
that's one thing about Cincinnati that I'm not concerned about.
right,
And it wasn't like that last time we played them neither. It
yeah,
was just more about our defense being exposed.
right.
We didn't know where to line up guys. Guys were unsure. They weren't communicating. Our linebackers didn't know how to get after the ball. But I think after the adjustment and that conversation, they said that Jonnu Smith and Jalen Ramsey had a conversation before the Colts game to the team.
Mm,
And for somehow, whatever they talked about, on Saturday before the Colts game, it worked. It
yeah,
worked. And as you can see
that's
the
what you need
results,
sometimes. I mean, listen, we are human beings. We all need proper motivation to get
I
us
agree.
in the right mindset to do what we need to do. So, uh, and I don't always think it's the coach's job. Sometimes it's the player's job to motivate. If you on the defense, to and really be honest, you're more of an expert because you see when your teammate is not executing. You see when they're being lazy or they're not, you know, uh, positioned properly. I mean, they know this. They all know it. So it's like
Right.
you should say to your team, "Hey, man, we got to do better," and just got to be somebody who is consistent on the team to make those calls, make those suggestions to his teammates that hey, we got to do better.
We got to do better. And,
Yeah,
and that's what it all boils down to because they're all professionals. These
yeah,
guys, they've been playing since Pee Wee League. And so I think it goes back to what you said, Tony, execution. Execution
yeah,
is the main thing and going after the ball. And as you can see, just by a veteran like Jalen Ramsey, another voice in the locker room, not just the stale voices of maybe Cam Hayward or TJ Watt talking to the defense. Sometimes you need that somebody else on the outside to kind of
yeah.
get things stirred up in the locker room.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And there's a lot of Steelers with a lot of legacy who with a lot of accomplishments who can go in that locker room and motivate their team, to because I mean I know Steelers are like you once a Steeler, always a Steeler, and especially if you retired from the Steelers, the respect I'm sure is pretty high, and I'm sure that their suggestions go a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So right now, we are at week 11. And as you can see, the AFC North is starting to become a grab between two teams. The Browns are out of it for the most part. They made it known that Coach Stefanski's made it known that he wants to start Dylan Gabriel over Shador Sanders. Um, man, I mean, we're not making this out of a Browns podcast, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
man, I would love to see Shador out there, brother.
Yeah,
But
I would love to just see him play a one quarter. You ain't gotta, just go out there and let him play. But I mean, really, see, it has to be something that they're seeing on the practice field, or what I don't know what they're seeing, but I feel like it's a reason why they won't put him out there. Like, it may just be that. Uh, I don't know, because I really don't know, because I feel like he should be. They should see what he could do.
yeah, I think so. I think with them being 2-7, I think why not? I
Why
don't
not?
know what else you can do that Dylan Gabriel that's going to bring this Browns team back. Um, this isn't the time to do it, or maybe when it gets down to when we play the Browns, they might throw in Shador. For garbage time purposes. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Um,
Well, I mean, he
because
got
we've
a lot of
already
fans
beaten.
out there. I mean, if anything, do it for optics. If
Right,
you know,
right,
he got a lot
exactly.
of fans out there, and sometimes people underestimate that spark that you can get from doing something out of the ordinary. You
I
know,
agree with.
and I feel like maybe that's something they need to think about. And I would say the same thing, like I was saying earlier about the Steelers. I do feel like we need to mix it up a little bit on the offense plays that we call, just to throw the defense off some, because I'm telling you, if they watching this film and they watching, because you were saying earlier that uh, the type of offense that we run is kind of predictable to some degree. I think that we definitely need to mix it up.
You know what I saw, Tony? I thought, I think we have a formula. I think the formula is bully ball. And what I mean by that is we have these tight ends. Like we have Pat Fryermuth, we have Jonnu Smith, and we have that Mount Washington. I
Mm-hmm.
think I think they are what you would call, we have 12 and 13 personnel, which I feel like, late in the season when it gets cold and you have these defenses that are in the late third, fourth quarter, they don't want to block, they don't want to tackle. When you got a big guy like Darnell Washington coming at you, he's 6'7" and over 300 and some pounds.
Right.
Do you really want to block that? And it's
No.
cold outside. Do you really,
Right.
So I think we do have a formula, but I think it comes down to like what you said, execution. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I think Isaac Seumalo being hurt with a pectoral injury kind of played in that, because yeah, we did see Darnell Washington for a few plays last night, and then he just disappeared.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, you
so
got to use. See, this is how. I mean, I'm not. I don't. And I used to didn't have this mentality, but I do now. Especially the older I get, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. If you seen in prior games people execute in certain ways, then you got to kind of rehash that. Even if you got to mix up the the different level, the different successful plays in the next game. But you got to keep using it, because it's an obvious threat. If like, because I feel like every time Washington get his hands on the ball, I'm excited because I like watching him play.
my God,
And I mean, I know that may not be a football philosophy and all, but I do think there's something to it when you see certain people out on the field with the ball in their hand, just like fire move. The fans love seeing him play, and he can play. He can catch.
he
He
can,
can run for a big man. I mean, he can play, and
yeah.
so like I would love to see him even get the ball more.
So,
Um,
yeah,
so I mean, and I think I watch him run routes. He know, like I said, they all in the NFL. They all know what they're doing, but it's like the consistency. I feel like they need to get him the ball more.
right.
Um,
I agree, and like you said, consistency, Tony, means everything.
mhm.
Um, this offense needs to be explosive. This is towards the season where we need to start getting the rhythm. People were crying about the trade deadline and how we didn't acquire any wide receivers. I mean, and last night
Yeah,
now
I heard
you
them say
kind of
that in
see.
the game. Yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of see it last night, like okay, we're becoming stagnant. But I think the dark horses we did acquire a wide receiver. This was right before the trade deadline, and
Mhm,
we got one of Aaron Rodgers' old teammates
mhm,
from the Green Bay Packers, MVS Marquez Valdez Scantling.
mhm.
He's 6'3". He's a fast guy. Broadcast. He's won Super Bowls with the Chiefs, and he's also been there with the Green Bay Packers, and he's a fast, tall wide receiver. We didn't see him last night because he was on the practice squad, but now since he's been with us for a few weeks, he's getting acclimated to the playbook. We
Mhm.
will see him. In my opinion, I think we will see him against the Cincinnati Bengals. So, do you think MVS will be an intricate weapon when it comes down to Aaron Rodgers, and because they have familiarity with each other as well too, do
That
you
might
think that's
help.
going to help open up the offense?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, anything that's different will help. Any look that's different will help. Um, yeah, I definitely think so. Now, honestly, do I like watched this guy play and know him? No, I don't. Um, but I would love to see somebody out there who actually that he can get the ball to, that can actually run after the catch and really make a difference. Because I mean, one thing I learned about football, which is kind of like across the board, it's a game of mistakes. The more mistakes you make, the harder it is to win. So uh, we it's putting different people in there who can handle the ball and who can catch the ball uh, will make a difference in the long run. Because
I agree.
it's like chipping at something. That's kind of like if you the analogy I think if you just keep chipping at these yards and and then sooner or later you break through because that's one of my favorite plays is watching people break through.
Yes, I agree. 100%. a hundred
So
percent. Yeah, Valdez Scantley, man. He's 6'4", 206 pounds. Came from NC State.
hmm
He was drafted back in 2015. He was the fifth overall draft pick. I mean, I'm sorry, the 174th overall draft pick. He was drafted in the fifth round.
okay.
The teams that he played for, he played with the Green Bay Packers in 2018 to 2021, the
hmm
Kansas City Chiefs, 2022 to 2023. They won the Super Bowl then.
hmm
He played with the Buffalo Bills last year, and he also played with the New Orleans Saints last year as well in Seattle.
Oh
He's been
wow.
around the league, but he is a well known he is a polished wide receiver. He has speed. We know that Calvin Austin has speed, but Calvin Austin he lacks size.
Mm.
So you'll have another big target, another 6'4" target next to DK Metcalf that can
hmm
actually open up this game for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and that that's a good point because if because Metcalf is, is like a target. They definitely don't give him no. He don't get enough looks because of him being a target and getting double teamed and all of that. So, yeah, if you did have another big guy, that probably would take some of that off of him, give him more. Yeah, I agree with you, man. That's
All right, let's move. We're moving forward. Okay, so right now, as you guys can see, hey, please like, comment, subscribe to this Sports Lounge 757. I'm with my boy Tony, and we are Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and we just giving our reactions from last night disappointing performance against the Chargers. We're skipping ahead to week 11. Week 11. What are some key fundamentals you think we need to do to come out with that dub? Because I feel like, in my opinion, this is a must win for Pittsburgh against the Cincinnati Bengals. What do you think?
I don't know if it's a must win. I think if we want to keep the momentum of being, in the head in the lead in our division, we got to win. But do I feel like it's over if we don't win? No. I feel like we should win because of who we playing, and I would be more upset if we didn't win because of that. Uh, but down the road, when I'm thinking down the road, I feel like we have some other games that we really need to be like. This will be a good momentum builder for and a confidence builder if we do win this game, so we can take it to the more difficult teams. So that with that consideration, I would say, yeah, I feel like it's a must win. But from a divisional standpoint, it's not a must win. It's a should win.
So what
It's
are
how
some
I phrase it.
what are some things that you think what are some things that you would like to see,
Mm.
Tony, when it comes down
Uh,
to the
I
offense?
I would like to see two things. I would like to see more running, uh, first downs, running more on first down. Uh, I would like to see. I mean, which I'm going to reserve my comment as far as Rodgers and his consistency until this next game. If he, because he's probably going to play well, so I'm going to say that if he plays well, getting the pass out there, not overthrowing the players, or minimizing that, I think that will make a big difference in the outcome of the game. Um, Defense, I feel like defense from what I've been seeing the last couple of games, I feel like they're not the issue. I feel like if they just be consistent, uh, I think that we'll be fine on defense.
Yeah.
And I do feel like, again, I don't want to keep saying it over and over, but I do feel like we need to use Washington a little bit more. I feel like we use fire move pretty much good. We need to open up the offense with Metcalf, and maybe if we can get another threat in there, somebody like you said that's more opposing that could take some of that pressure off of Metcalf so he can get open. That will help. So those are pretty much the key things that I'm thinking about.
All right, so there you have it. I agree with you on all of those things. Um, I just feel like the team has good. I feel like the team has good chemistry. Well, they're working their way on to getting good chemistry. One thing I would say about this GM, he has been aggressive since he's been our new GM. Omar Khan, shout out to you. Um, you've done a lot of things for the organization that Kevin Colbert would never do as the old GM. He's made signings. He's done well, and if you go back to his draft picks that he picked back in 2022, I mean 2023, they fared pretty well. They fared pretty well with Joey Porter Jr. and Broderick Jones and even your boy from NC State, Roman Wilson and the other Wilson guy, the linebacker. These and Nick Herbert. Shout out to Nick Herbert too. He is a edge rusher. He
Yeah.
reminds me of baby TJ. He reminds me of TJ Watt.
Mhm.
But our, we've been aggressive. So for any Steeler fans out there or want to be Steeler fans, but our franchise is very, very. Sometimes we move slow. We don't make knee jerk reaction moves. We are very methodical when it comes down to who we do, what we do, and who we sign. And
Mhm.
but I will say that under this regime with Omar Khan, we've been rather aggressive. And so I think when it comes down to all these, to answer your question, to answer what you just said as far as your statement, I think what it boils down to is like what you said earlier in this podcast was chemistry. We have a lot of moving parts. We have new. I mean, when you really think about the defense is different.
Mhm.
We got rid of Minka Fitzpatrick, and and matter of fact, news break: Juan Thornhill is no longer Steeler. We released him today. You
Mm.
know, so we have. You know, I like Hmm. I like the way that the Steelers organization is going. We aren't stagnant.
Mhm.
Juan Thornhill, I thought he would be around to the end of the season. I thought he had a decent season, but somebody saw something. Terrell Austin, the defensive coordinator, may have saw something that he didn't like, and that might
Mhm.
have happened in the Green Bay Packers game,
Mhm.
where he allowed that tight end from Green Bay to catch the ball. I don't know what it was, but they got rid of him. They aren't. They're moving fast. This 2025 Steelers and under Omar Khan. So um, The team, I feel like the team just needs to gel. These are a lot of different, personnel, man. The wide receivers, we pretty much kept up. We got your boy Kenneth Gainwell from the Eagles as a running back, and
Mm-hmm.
we drafted Caleb Williams as the running back. I'm glad to see that he's getting touches now. I think Caleb Johnson. I'm sorry, Caleb Johnson from Iowa. He got a few touches last night too. He's a big running back, shifty guy. He kind of reminds me of Le'Veon Bell a little bit as far as body type.
Mm-hmm.
He's not as elusive at the line of scrimmage as Le'Veon Bell, but when that boy gets going, because I looked at his tape in Iowa, man, and I mean he played a lot of downs in Iowa. I mean he's very aggressive, big back, reminds me of Najee Harris, but more decisive than Najee Harris.
Mm-hmm.
But once he get a hold of that thing and he understands that NFL speed is over with. But
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that the coaching staff is trying to get him involved because we know for real, this is still a long season,
Right.
and but I think it boils down to chemistry. I think it
Yeah.
does at the end of the day. Tony,
Yes, sir.
um, AFC North, man. Do you still think the Steelers got a shot, man? Do you think
Of course.
throughout
They
all of
the
this,
Steelers. They got a shot. Like they say, is there a chance? Yeah, there's a chance.
right?
They
Yeah,
definitely got a shot. I will say this: if we lose, if we lose the next two games, I say we're not going to do. We're done.
yeah,
I feel like, I mean, even if we win the next few, I feel like we have to maintain some level of consistency in winning games. But like I said, I don't think we have to win it, but we should win this next game because it should be a I don't I, nothing's an easy win, but I feel like it's a manageable win that we should be able to get. Um, but I can't see us losing two or three games in a row and think we're going anywhere. I think we're
right.
going to our season is pretty much trashed if we lose two. I would say the next two games we need to win, and I believe we can. I even think we can beat the Bears, but I feel like we got to play. We got to
Right.
be able. We got the next two games is really, to me, it'll tell me more about the team, about how losses affect them, because sometimes when you lose, it you know it riles you up, it motivates you to play harder, and some teams that just put their head down and just keep losing. But I mean, I don't see the Steelers as being that way, but I do think these next two games going to tell me a lot about what the future holds for them. So
Yeah, I don't see that neither. I see Tomlin. He has control in that locker room. He always has.
yeah.
Um, and I don't see him losing touch of the locker room, especially now when he has his guy, when he has Aaron Rodgers. I don't,
Hmm.
I don't, I don't see him losing any control of that. I agree with you, Tony, on the AFC North. I just know that right now, um, Lamar Jackson he's looking like Lamar now.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson stated that when he came back, it was himself that told the staff to get rid of all the video games, all the
Hmm.
televisions that were inside of the facility because it was time to lock in. And
That's right.
that's coming from your quarterback.
That's
Okay.
leadership right
And
there.
that's leadership.
Desire to
Right.
win and leadership, and that's what
Right.
they need. They need that. We need Steelers need that. I don't know who our big leader is. Do you know who's the? I'm sure Aaron Rodgers is the OG. He's the one with the experience, but I don't know who really is the voice that people listen to in that locker room. I don't know who that
Right.
is. So
The thing is, it's just kind of hard to tell who's the voice in the locker room because, you don't really get to see the locker room. We're very private, or we have a private locker room. You see other
yeah,
teams that win, and then you see the cameras after
yeah,
the game, and the coach is giving the game ball to whoever. You don't really see that coming from Pittsburgh.
that's true.
Um,
That's a
but
good point because I never. That's a really good point. Really good point.
mhm, yeah. So it's hard to tell who's the leader. But whoever the leader is, we have to understand that we spent a lot of money on his defense this season. In my book, I don't think they played up to the potential. I think they're still working on it. I think that Jalen Ramsey has been uh, he's exuded being a Steeler. I think
Oh yeah, he
he
definitely
wears the Steelers,
him and Joey Porter. I like
and
Porter too.
yeah. So I do I think that Jalen Ramsey needs to be rotated from safety to probably play nickel. I think he should. But right now, him at the safety position and then them acquiring your boy Kyle Duggar from New England, which coming from New England and coming to another franchise, another organization, and picking up the way that he's done the last few games is phenomenal. So shout out to Kyle Duggar. I thought that was a good signing. I think them two has solidified the middle of the field. I am confident in the Steelers beating the Bengals this year coming up, and we can split that series because of the safety presence. But later on in the season, because it's kind of boring being a safety. Sometimes you just have to watch. You kind of like you're back there and you're just surveying the whole field. Jalen Ramsey's not that type of guy. He's a dog and he wants to be a part of every play.
Yeah, I heard them
Jalen
mention
Ramsey
stuff
wants to
like that in
hit.
the game. Yeah, but you know what? And that's true. Safety may not be a glamorous job, but I'm telling you, when somebody break through, man, you need them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and
I agree.
I mean, that people got to understand what the role that they play. And that's it's again, it may be it's one of them roles like being in the military. You practice for war, but you may not have a war for 20 years, but you practice because when it's time to
That's true.
perform. So that's something that they need to keep in mind, even if you move them around just to, because and I think it's okay to move them around just to from time to time. But if you back there, hey, that position is important.
Yeah, I agree. And you saw what happened last week when Pittman caught that ball and around in Jalen Ramsey's facility. Jalen Ramsey laid him out. I
Hmm.
mean, it was a clean hit, but it was a violent hit. So he sent the
Yeah,
message.
yeah,
Uh,
that's right. Don't you bring your ass.
don't you come around the center of this field like that no more. All you heard was
Yeah,
everybody said,
you know
"Ooh!"
what?
Then you saw the yellow flag. It was
You
a
know
clean
that's
hit.
that's funny. I have to say this real quick. It used to be a time when you used to watch football and people would knock each other's heads off, and it
Bro,
would
come
just be a
on.
hit.
It would just be
Now
a
I
hit.
feel bad when I see somebody get laid out. It's because they
Yeah.
done softened us up too much as
The
fans.
league
It's
has
like, oh
become soft.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I
Because I mean,
agree.
it's a dangerous game. It is. It's exciting to watch, but it is a dangerous game, and sometimes people get hit. And because sometimes you don't have to get hit in the head, man. Sometimes somebody just come at you full speed and hit you right in the chest, and next you laid out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, these are all like these guys are the maximum physical ability. So it's like them hitting you is like getting hit by a car. I'm sure.
Man, all you see is the upper room, and you be like, "How did I get here?" Look at
I
the.
know. I seen a couple plays like that yesterday when people was like, "Whew," they had to lay there for a minute and think about it.
Who's the guy who's the guy that had the heart attack on the field and still played
Oh,
from the
who was
Buffalo
that?
Bills?
Really? Oh, you
You
talking about?
remember that?
I know who you talking about.
He from Buffalo,
I
man,
know who
and
you talking about. I can't
he
remember his
died.
name.
It's like he literally his heart stopped.
Yeah, yeah, and but he
Ah,
started playing again.
he
Yeah,
started playing again. Shout out to whoever he is. I think he,
yeah. I forgot his name, but it was a big deal back when it happened. So a couple
yeah,
years ago. Yeah,
yeah, man. So this is yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, so you have to be careful out there. I see why a lot of these wide receivers wear the bump
yeah,
guards on their helmets.
Yeah,
You
it looks
know,
funny, but I'm glad they do it. They look like cartoons, but I'm
they
glad. I would do it too. I'm gonna tell you right now, because if I'm pretty coming on the field, I want to be pretty
yeah,
coming
you want
off
to be
the
friends,
field.
right?
So if I gotta look a little cartoonish, so be it.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree, man. This is that's true. That's so true. But
Yeah,
I don't know, man. We'll see what happens next week. It's in Pittsburgh. I'm excited about that. This will be
yeah.
a revenge game against the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the Steelers pulling that one off and hopefully maintaining that game lead in the AFC North. I hope the game that I go to, I hope it's not win, or if you lose the division, because I will be in Baltimore December the 7th with my terrible towel.
Is that
Um,
remind me? Is that a open a dome or open?
that's open. M&T Banks is an open
Ooh,
field, and it's gonna be cold. My
wee.
wife would be, yeah, we'll be there. I'm gonna go live. I'll go live
Oh,
on
I
that
hope you
one.
bring you a blanket.
So, um, yeah, that'll be my first time ever being in Baltimore. I've never been to the M&T
Yeah,
Bank Stadium.
I've never been to a Baltimore game, but Baltimore's a nice place, especially when it's warm.
Ah, okay, okay, I appreciate so.
So
Yeah,
enjoy. I'll be sitting in somewhere warm watching that game, but
yeah, yeah,
but
definitely.
the experience is great, and hopefully you'll be able to get some video.
Well, you know the few games that we've been to. The first game that we've been to was in Charlotte. Of course, there were so many Steelers fans there. We won that game.
Hmm.
The second game we went to was in Pittsburgh when we played the Ravens. We won that game. That's when Joey Porter Jr. intercepted the ball from Odell Beckham when Odell was playing with the Ravens. We
Hmm.
won that game. That was a home game in Pittsburgh. The
Hmm.
other game that we went to was the Commanders game where Russell Wilson was doing a little dance thing because they went off
Yeah.
sides and all that stuff. We won that game. So hopefully we get the same outcome
Well,
in Baltimore.
you know what you well then I tell you what, you go because you're probably gonna win. When I went to see Pittsburgh play Philly, they got drugged. They got drugged.
They
I was
got
like,
you.
we drove all the way to Philly for this. So
They
I
ran the
say,
ball down our throats. I think I
yeah.
remember that game,
So
man.
I say, you go ahead and go,
Yeah.
and so we can win.
Actually, that game, it could have went both. It could have Steelers could have won that game.
Well,
Well,
the one
was
I saw, we ain't have a chance. Did a and we had great seats too.
oh
Great.
man.
This is back now. So this has been some years now. I mean,
Oh,
because
okay. Okay.
yeah, this happened back when I don't know if you remember when P Diddy had his reunion tour. This was probably like maybe 7 years ago, 6 years ago. He had a reunion tour. This is back before DMX passed away. So
Oh
he had a
wow.
big tour, and it was all his artists, even and some artists that wasn't Diddy's artists. But anyway, we went to the game, and then we seen the reunion tour in Philly, and I'm gonna tell you, it was great
Yeah.
time, but we Pittsburgh, and then those Philly fans are not very nice people, man. They was in our face like antagonizing us. And it's like we
Oh,
already losing, you know.
yo, that
But
is wild.
yeah, so
That is
long
insane.
story short, I'm sure you probably had some success. You go see them play.
I sure hope so. I sure hope so. My wife, she's a cold natured person. Every time, she literally we were gonna leave early at the Steelers game, and that's right by the Mahogany River.
Mhm.
Mahogany, I can't pronounce it.
Oh, so
But
y'all getting that lake that cold air from that yeah.
and this is in December. We went in October and it was cold in
Oh,
Pittsburgh. This
word.
is in December. Yeah,
Ooh.
December.
So
So
y'all
I
are
don't know
y'all
what
driving or flying down
we're
there?
driving. We're driving.
Oh, okay.
Driving.
Okay. Yeah, that's not that bad drive. It's not a
No.
bad drive. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So
man.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
gotta
hope.
make my way to Steelers game. but I need to go preseason or first two games because I'm not I'm from Michigan, but I do not like being cold, so we're not doing that over here.
Yeah, so yeah, so hopefully we come away with the dub and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But if not, then so be it. We brought it on ourselves. And I'm wondering, like, what would be the reason why we would lose that game? Will we see Aaron Rodgers just or Tomlin being stubborn and just keeping Aaron Rodgers out there and knowing that he's a problem? Because sometimes Tomlin can stick to his guns to a fault.
No, yeah,
He's
and I
you know.
understand that because but as a leader, sometimes you have to be that way because no, it's a thankless job. If you
True.
win in, people telling you need to be fired. So it's like
You damned if you do, you damned if you don't.
so you gotta have your own constitution. You gotta live. You gotta stand by it until it's over. And trust me, you lose enough people. I mean, the organization will have to make a decision if you lose too much. So
Yeah. All right.
but
Okay.
he got a great resume. So I don't really think he can do too much wrong at this point. When he leaves, he's gonna be on his own terms, I believe. So
Yeah, I agree with you 100% right there, man. So, we're approaching to the hour. We're over the hour mark right now in this podcast. This has been great. This is Sports Lounge 757. This is our host, Tony. Tony's been up here quite a few times, and we're just talking Steelers football, and we enjoying every bit of it. You guys don't forget, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. It means a whole lot to the algorithm. We are live right now on YouTube. And also Peak Sports. I'm thinking about running a membership for Peak Sports, where I produce all 22. I go back and recap all 22 footage of every game, especially the Steelers game, and kind of go into detail. And run back different plays from different personnel where you can see the whole field. And this is what the coaches and stuff see, or when they're scouting another team or when they're looking at other teams and stuff like that. So I'm thinking about doing that. And also too, I have my shorts. I do YouTube and TikTok shorts on Steelers, and I have a short that I'm about to put up here that I produced myself a month ago, and this is going back to Aaron Rodgers and Jalen Ramsey. Again, I am thrilled to have Jalen Ramsey on the team. He's just been nothing but a class act, but not only just a class act, he just exudes Steelers, man. He just exudes Steelers and the toughness. Reminds me of James Harrison, but with swag. So I want to kind of showcase this guys real quick. This is something that I put together. This particular short gained over 160 some thousand views and over 11,000 some likes and stuff like that. It definitely went viral. But well, you give me a second, I'm about to play it for y'all guys, and here we go.
I do want to make a point and talk about Ramsey because what he did this week getting ready to play. I've been around the game a long time, and I've seen a lot of guys in a situation where you got a Sunday, Thursday, skip both games, where maybe they're 80%, 85%, but they want to be 100% because I think there's a fear of failure almost that can paralyze them, where if I don't play my best game, then what does that say about me if I'm not 100%? I think some guys are scared to go out there and play. But for Jalen to go out there with everything he's accomplished in this league, I just can't say enough about the level of respect I have for him. Then he had, 2 sacks and pass breakups and tackles. And if there was any question about the type of person that he is, take away the grip, he's an incredible player, but person and teammate, I think he just showed us the kind of guy that he is by going out there and playing today.
There you have it. Jalen Ramsey, shout out to you. Hopefully we can take it up a notch. We got some dogs out there on defense. If anything, we can get that defense together, man. We got a shot, y'all, because y'all know defense win championships.
that's right.
So yeah, man. Tony, is anything you want to Want to shout out, man, before we wrap this thing up, man.
Man, I think we've covered it all and covered it twice, so I think we're good, brother.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you being up here, man, on the
Oh,
Sports Lounge 757. We're
thanks
gonna try to make this a
for
thing, yo.
yeah, man.
That's
Let's make let's take it to the next level, brother. We could do that.
it. And speaking of next level, yeah, I got a little something, y'all. I thought it was hilarious, and I hate to turn this into a political thing, but the NFL did it. The NFL turned it political Sunday. They really did, because
Okay.
I was trying to enjoy the Commanders and the Detroit Lions game. I really did. I was really in my bag, just enjoying that. And then next thing you know, come to find out, your commander in chief was at the stadium.
I heard some booing going on.
Man, let me tell you
All right.
something. Man, that the if the boos were it was so loud, so egregious to the
And
point
Trump was
where
saying it was an incredible boo.
and it was let me and he was just reading. Hold on, matter of fact, instead of just talking about it, here we go. Anyway, this is a sports show. We can talk the politics at a later date.
We definitely need to. I will say this: we we didn't get a chance to really talk about the election, but I would like to be able to just shout out the winners. They they showed America something, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh yeah, 100%. But it's been real, man. Hey, listen, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in live here on YouTube. Appreciate y'all. Sports Lounge 757. That's my man Tony right here. We doing it here, man. From Virginia, man, all the way up to daggone Pittsburgh. We're gonna rep Pittsburgh until we win another Super Bowl. Until we get that number 7, y'all. Y'all hear? Is that backwards? Is that upside down? Is it upside down?
There you go.
There you go. Here you go, y'all. For real, for real. But look, yes, sir. Yes, sir. But it's been real, y'all. We love y'all at the end of the day. Don't forget, please, on the way out the door, please hit the like, comment, subscribe button to this channel, man. It helps out the algorithm, man. I really appreciate every one of y'all. For sure.
Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks everybody for watching, and thanks, James, for having me on your show.
Yes, sir. Yo, you take it easy. Y'all stay blessed. Peace.